Hi everyone, this is Raj again from VoiceAIWrapper. We get a lot of questions from our users and people new to VoiceAI asking us questions about how to use VoiceAI agents with their calendars, Google Calendar, Outlook Calendar, their Cal.com calendar. So I thought about creating this short video to demonstrate how you connect your VoiceAI agent with your booking calendar. I'm going to take an example with a VAPI scenario, but what I'm showing you is going to work across the board for, let's say, ElevenLabs conversational AI, or even if you use voice AI agents with Retell, and you can use the same functionality to also book meetings on GHL. So let's dive in. Now, while we are on this topic, what I wanted to point out is calendar bookings are basically tool calls, and all of these voice AI providers, let's say VAPI for instance, has detailed documentation on how to use a tool call for booking meetings on, let's say, a Google Calendar. Similarly, ElevenLabs also has documentation for using cal.com and how to set up a tool function inside ElevenLabs. And then when you go to your ElevenLabs account, for example, you can set up a tool and follow the instructions on their uh, help guide to set up your own tool. Now, for today's demo, we are going to factor in VAPI. So the first thing I'm going to do is head over to VoiceAIWrapper, and for someone who hasn't connected VAPI yet, they'll go in here, connect their VAPI keys to get started. In my case, I've already connected VAPI, so I will enter the VAPI pod that I've created, and then once you're in, you'll see that VoiceAIWrapper syncs all your VAPI assets inside VoiceAIWrapper, so that you can now white label and you can create workflows out of it. And then you have the VoiceAIWrapper native features on the top. Right. So I'll head over to tools. Now, if you already have a tool call function inside VAPI, it is going to import and sync all of that. Just in case you don't have one, you can head over to add tool and use one of our templates. Now, I just wanted to point out that since the tool function is already natively available inside your voice API provider like VAPI or ElevenLabs or even Retell, there's no point us creating that function again inside our system. That's why we let you import those tool calls that you have natively created inside your voice AI wrapper, natively created inside your voice API provider account. But for the sake of this demo, I'm going to use a template, a easy to use template that we have created for cal.com users. So just in case you happen to use cal.com, which is kind of universal and works with all service providers, you can use this simple template, and it's going to be easy. You don't have to spend time on documentation. It's going to be relatively easy for you to set up your cal.com integration with your voice AI agent. All right, so we have two templates here. We have a check availability template and a book a meeting template. I mean, we're going to use a check availability template to set up the function, the tool call, where the agent will check your calendar to check your for available slots. So I'm going to name it something. I'm going to say check my schedule. And now it asks for the cal.com API key and the event ID. So I have a cal.com account handy here. I'm going to head over to settings. I'm going to head over to API keys, and I'm going to create a API key which never expires. Do this, copy this, head over to VoiceAIWrapper, paste the API key. Great. Now I need the event ID. So I go back again to cal.com, and I am going to head over to, let's say I pick this 30 minutes meeting. Now you see this numeric part that pops up on the URL when you open up the event. This is your event ID for cal.com. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to paste it here. Great. So now we have a function, we have a tool call available which can check my schedule. Now we need to set up another function which can book a meeting. Let's call it book meeting. Again, it's going to ask me for the cal.com API key. And if I didn't save the first one somewhere on my clipboard, I won't be able to retrieve it, so I need to create one again. Copy this. I'll head back here, paste the API key. So I'll go back to the event. Once again, I copy the event ID, head over to VoiceAIWrapper, paste the event ID here. Done. So now I have two tool calls set up. One is the first one will check for availability on cal.com, my schedule and my availability. And the next one will enable that tool call to book a meeting based on how the conversation proceeds with the contact and the voice AI agent. One thing to keep in mind is when I create, I'm using VAPI for this video. So when I create a tool call here inside VoiceAIWrapper, this is also going to correspondingly create a tool call inside your VAPI account. So the sync is kind of bidirectional here. So if I head into my VAPI account, so you can see that the corresponding tool has been created inside VAPI because of the tool that I created inside VoiceAIWrapper. And just keep in mind that the required parameters here. So to check availability, this tool call requires the end date, the time zone, and the start date. Similarly, for the booking to work, this tool call will require the name of the person, email, phone number, time zone, and the start date, right? So this means that when you're creating an agent which needs to book meetings, then you need to make sure the agent is capturing this information during the conversation. So you need to create your prompt in a way so that these values are captured, and that's only when the booking function is going to work successfully. Now, for those of you who want to personalize the meeting invite that goes out, there are certain variables which can be set up in the meeting invite that goes out. So for example, if I go into this event and I go to advanced, you see that there are some variables which can be added, meeting specific variable, context specific variables which can be added to the event name. And if you click on this icon here, this gives you the list of variables that you can add, right? So you can personalize that invite that goes out based on these variables. Now, what you need to keep in mind is that you should be, if you're using a variable in your calendar invite, that variable should be captured during the call by the agent, and it should be part of your required fields, which means if I go back to my VAPI account, so for example, the name is a required field here, right? Unless if I need a new property, like for example, color choice, for example, yeah, I need to add this here, and I need to make it a required field for it to show up as a variable inside the meeting invite which goes out, right? Similarly, if there's another variable inside cal.com, for example, if you want to mention the location, then you need to make sure that location is a required field under parameters here, and you need to add that. So whatever you want to personalize, you need to make sure that both your agent is captured that parameter, and that parameter is available as a custom field or a variable in your meeting template. So that's kind of it. So I showed you how to use the template feature inside VoiceAIWrapper to use cal.com to check availability and book meetings directly onto your calendar. And you also need to make sure that your agent prompt is updated and is capturing the variables which you need in order for this tool call to work. If you use anything else, there is no need to set up a separate tool call here. For example, if you're using Google Calendar and using VAPI as your voice API, VAPI already has detailed documentation on how to use your Google Calendar. All you need to do is set it up inside VAPI. Similarly, if you're using ElevenLabs, for example, and you use HubSpot, ElevenLabs already has detailed documentation on how to connect with HubSpot. All you need to do is set up that calendar integration inside your voice API provider, whether you're using ElevenLabs or VAPI or Retell. And when you sync your voice API providers with VoiceAIWrapper, all of those tools and function calls, they are going to sync anyways and you don't need to set it up in two different places. That's it. I hope this was useful. If you like this video, please share some comments and let me know what you would like to see next. Thank you.